I would like to discuss, we will continue with the last property of vector product. The last property says that the magnitude, if you take the magnitude of the vector product, that is P cross Q is equal to what? What is the magnitude? It is PQ sin theta. This term, magnitude of the vector product, always represents the area of the parallelogram. Okay, it's an important question. It is asked separately for 2 marks. So magnitude of the vector product is what? It is equal to the area of the parallelogram. Consider two vectors P and Q represented as the adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Okay, O, A, B, C represented as the adjacent side of the parallelogram. Draw an altitude here CD such that the altitude is of height h. Okay, so let vector P and vector Q be inclined at an angle theta, be represented as the adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Complete it. OAC BC, and draw an altitude which is the height of the parallelogram, which is h. Concentrate here. Now what is the area of the parallelogram? It is base. You know it from your lower classes. It is the product of base and height. What is base here? It is P, which is represented by vector OA, vector P, into height is h. From the triangle OCD, from the triangle OCD, what is sin theta? It is obviously opposite side upon the hypotenuse. Therefore, what is h? It is q sin theta. Therefore, what is the area of the parallelogram? OABC. It is P multiplied by, you don't put this multiply here, P into h. H is what is? Q sin theta. So the formula is PQ sin theta, which is equal to the magnitude of the vector product. Students, it is asked as a separate 2 marks question. So no issues here. You have to only explain this part here. That magnitude of the vector product is area of the parallelogram, that is OABC, and given by PQ sin theta. Students, will discuss the next part, the last part of the topic, and that is calculus. एक पॉइंट सांगते तुम्हाला, कॅल्क्युलस हॅज नथिंग टू डू विथ युअर 11th and 12th स्टँडर्ड सिलेबस. इट इज ॲक्च्युली द मॅथ्स सिलेबस ऑफ स्टँडर्ड 12th. मॅथ्स 2 स्टँडर्ड 12thचा हा सिलेबस आहे. बट देर आर सो मेनी फॉर्म्युले ऑफ मॅथ्स विच यू यूज इन फिजिक्स. ओके, सो just remember that no questions will be asked on this calculus part. It's only an information such that the 11th standard students should understand some mathematical steps which are actually taught in the 12th standard. Okay, and that therefore in the physics this part is introduced. It's only introduced here, only an information. You have to only try to understand full details. Details means if a maths teacher wants, she can teach 1 month, one topic. That vast it is. It's in 12th standard syllabus here. Okay, I'll give you some points related to calculus. Look here, we'll discuss first this differential calculus. Obviously, which was invented by again Newton. And then the next part, which is called integral calculus. Basic difference. Basic difference between differential calculus. This is for 11th standard. It has nothing to do with your physics part. It's mathematical part, maths part it is. But you should know certain formulae which will be applying in physics this year in 11th standard. Okay. Calculus is basically classified into differential calculus and integral calculus. Now, basic difference is what? So that 11th standard students should understand it. Okay, differential calculus means take a huge body and divide it into a large number of parts. Dividing into smaller parts is called differentiation. Same small parts uniting them together to form a larger part is called integral calculus. So basic is what? Whatever we study in differentiation, exactly opposite we'll be doing in integration. Big body divided into smaller parts, that is differentiation. The same body, the same small parts combined together to form a large body is integration. The formula will be exactly in the reverse way, students. Today we'll not discuss this part. We'll discuss differential calculus, some formulae which you have to by heart. I'm clearing. You have to by heart them because you'll be utilizing them in your 11th standard. This will be in details taught only in the 12th. Okay. Now what is this differential calculus? We are going to take two coordinate axes, x and y axis. Okay. This is the variation. This is a curve which shows the variation of y with respect to x. Y is called as dependent variable. Y is called as dependent variable. X is called as independent variable. Meaning y will change only if x changes. If x doesn't change, y will not change. Means y depends on x. Y is a dependent variable which depends on x, and hence y is a function of x. Meaning as x changes, then only y changes. Otherwise y will remain as it is. Are you okay? That is the thing here. This is what is called as y being f of x. F is the function of x. Means it's totally dependent on x. So what we do here, we take two selected values of x, x0 at time interval t is equal to 0, and this is x plus x0 plus, this is x axis student, x0 plus delta x, which is after time interval t. Y is the function of x, so we write it as f of or y at x0. What is this? I'll not write it here. Y at x0 plus delta x. This is, what is this curve here? It is x0 plus delta x minus x. Difference between x0 plus delta x minus x0, which is delta x here. This is what here? Y of x0 plus delta x divided by minus y of x0, which is y of delta x. Are you okay? This part. This is delta x and this is actually y of delta x, which is written as delta y. Okay. Now, if you take delta y divided by delta x, you get change in y axis or y coordinates divided by change in x coordinates. Change in y coordinates means change in opposite side divided by change in adjacent side, which is tan theta here. Okay. Let me repeat again. Differential calculus involves dividing a single point into a large number of parts, smaller and smaller parts. Generally, if x is a independent variable which changes with time, then y is a dependent variable, means which depends on x, and in mathematical language it is called y is equal to the function of x. Let x change from x0 to x0 plus delta x. Y is a function of x0 and x0 plus delta x. If you take the difference of x0 plus delta x minus x0, you get delta x, and if you take y of x0 plus delta x divided by y of x0, we get delta y, which is tan theta here. Are you okay? Tan theta. Students, let me tell you one thing. As delta x decreases, let me mark this as points A and B. As delta x decreases, delta x becomes smaller and smaller. The distance between B and A decreases. B and A decreases and decreases and decreases. As delta x becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, B almost comes and coincides